You need to get to go and need to be able to get where you need to go.
The significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time, and there is such great significance to the passage of time. We will work together and continue to work together, and to work together as we continue to work together on.
Some things get old, some things get better, like those. Vice President Kamala Harris has been known to make some interesting speeches, but now her chief speechwriter stepping down. That's just one of 2 resignations announced in the VP's office this week. Her longest-serving advisor, her domestic policy advisor, also joining the long list of departures since Harris took office. Here with reaction, Fox News contributor Joe Concha. Joe, thanks for being here. We've heard the clips, but, you know, someone is writing those speeches, presumably, and now that person is out after 4 months. What do you make of it all?
I'm thinking, I'm not putting that on my LinkedIn page that I was the speechwriter for Kamala Harris because, oh, can you send us some clips? Sure, no problem. That's my dream job now, by the way, right? It was beach badge checker at the Jersey Shore. I'm trading up now to speechwriter for Kamala Harris because when you listen to her Thousand Island word speeches at this point, it's not exactly a high bar to get over, Pete, right? And given how little we see the vice president, this is like a 4-hour-a-week job. But in terms of the number of people leaving the office overall, I mean, we haven't seen an exodus like this since, you know, biblical Egypt or California recently. And the reason why is because it's been widely reported that Ms. Harris is a very difficult person to work with. She's like the Gwyneth Paltrow of the West Wing. It's almost like being Carly Shimkus' assistant. And when, I know, that was unfortunate.
She laughed.
But when
Don't
you're
worry.
polling, I know, she has a good sense of humor. But when you're polling in the low 30s and nobody thinks you're a good alternative to the sitting president, if you don't run, if you're the person working for the person who's perceived this way, you might want to get off that exit as quickly as possible.
Well, there's also a sense through reports that she doesn't do her homework and often is not prepared for these meetings and speeches. So you get this word salad. So if you're the one doing the homework and writing the speeches and yet she goes out and does that and that's all that it's known for, it's pretty demoralizing. And you see that across the spectrum of not just the vice president's office, but the president's office. And if you have that kind of turnover, it's pretty tough to get things done, which is maybe a good thing, Joe. Maybe the less things they get done, the better.
Absolutely. You know, I was on vacation recently and I forgot to pack a book, but the house we were staying in had a couple of books around. So I started rereading SEAL Team 6, and they have a great line in it, which is the more we sweat in training, the less we bleed in war, right? And it's the same thing when you do any job. The more you prep, the more you do things before you actually have to go on the stage and perform, the less problems you're going to have. And it seems like, to your point, Kamala Harris just shows up and kind of wings it. And given all the criticism she gets for it, I would think that would motivate her to do better. But we see it over and over again. And this is why, from a messaging perspective, whether it's the president, the vice president, his transportation secretary, his DHS secretary, you could go down the line in terms of all the president's men and women. People have trouble communicating basic things in this administration. And when the performance is horrible on top of that in terms of the results, that's why they're polling where they are, Pete.
Yeah, you're right. When the president communicates the way he does, she communicates the way she does. The current press secretary, your press secretary, you might want them to be a good communicator, not so much. You're in trouble. Joe Concha, you're not in trouble. We appreciate you. Thanks for being here.
Happy National Tattoo Day, by the way. I would show off my F&FW tattoo. It stands for Fox and Friends Weekend.
You have it?
This is a morning show.
It's right down on your hip flexor, right? Right down here? I got it.
Lower back area.
Lower back.
But again, I can't turn with this IFB. It's a long story, but anyway, get going.
Just post it on Instagram. Our people will poise and ready to see it. Thank you, brother.
Done. Thank you.
All right.